Jenna?
Hi, John speaking.
Hi, it's Tanya here.
Yes, Tanya.
Is it a more convenient time?
Sure. Let me just check my diary. Make sure I got tied up previous. I've got to be out of here in about 15 minutes.
Oh, that's good, because she's only supposed to take 5.
Okay, cool.
I'll put you over to Kat.
Excellent.
Hello.
Hello, my name's Kat, and do you mind this being recorded for moderation purposes?
Not at all. Fire away.
Alright, great. I'm someone that wants to make their career in advertising. How would I go about it?
How would you go about it?
Yeah.
Well, see, advertising is interesting because there's lots of different parts to it. There are, in our business, you can work in the creative part of the business, which means you need to be a writer or an art director. But more than that, you need to be really good at ideas, creative ideas. Or you could work in the account service part of the business, which means you have to work closely with clients on their strategy and their planning. Also be a good project manager, good at relationships. Or you can work in the media part of the business, which means you need to be able to understand all the various media channels, television, radio, press, online, and be responsible for project managing those sorts of things, media planning, media negotiations, media buying. So it's various different, so advertising isn't one thing, it's all sorts of different roles and different opportunities. Or you could work in our finance department, which I wouldn't recommend. That's a joke, by the way.
So it's tertiary.
But if you want to get into it, there are different schools. So the AUT offers a program, a common program. If you want to go into advertising, into the creative part, you can go to the idea school, media design school. If you want to work in media, there's no real formal training, but you need to be good at using Excel spreadsheet.
Oh, okay. Alright then. You do some advertising for really big companies.
Yes.
How did you come up with the ideas to advertise for companies like Burger King and Telecom?
Most of all, we talk to them about what their business problems are, and they will tell us that they're not selling a certain product or a certain service, or they want people to think about them differently. And we then get a group of people together to look at that problem. And those group of people come from all sorts of different backgrounds. So you have somebody who's good at media, somebody who's good at channels, someone who understands products, somebody who understands consumer insights and research. And then we look at that problem from all sorts of different directions and work out the best way of solving it. And if the problem is that people don't like us, if we're a company that people don't like, or they think something about us that we want them to think differently, then our job is to create a piece of communication that helps them change their mind or change their behaviour. And that idea itself comes from anyone in the agency, anyone in the business. But in most cases, it's the creative team that spend a lot of time thinking about it, a lot of time listening to consumers and talking to consumers, and test those ideas with consumers, ask them what they think of them, and then we put them in the marketplace. There's no real system or process for coming up with an idea, except to make sure that it does what it's supposed to, it achieves the objective that you set for it. So if it's designed to change people's behaviour, for example, we have a client in Wellington called Spark, and we need to get more kids active and more kids doing exercise. That's the problem. Then how do we get them to do that? Well, it could be that we provide more sports equipment for schools, or we run TV campaigns in the morning saying get up off the couch and go and do something for 20 minutes a day and those sorts of things. So it really is, there's a whole lot, lots of ways to answer those sorts of problems.
So it's just really finding a problem and...
defining the problem and then coming up with creative ways of addressing that problem. And it might be that it's not traditional advertising. It might not be a TV commercial. It might be that we come up with a sponsorship program or a way to provide tools and equipment or a whole number of different things. This business has really changed a lot in the last 10 years. Advertising is not always the answer to a business problem. But advertising can be one of the tools that we use.
Oh, okay. Alright then. Well, do you believe that advertising is a big part of society's lives then?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you then. Advertising is a big part of...
society's lives? Like people's lives?
Well, I think it is. Because, people are exposed to something like 6,000 different advertisements a day, whether they consciously see them or not. I'm looking at my window now and I'm watching a truck go past with a sign on and seeing a billboard, everywhere. There's signage everywhere. You listen to radio, see what's on television. You walk into a store and you see signs hanging up. So it surrounds you. So whether you like it or not, you may or may not be being advertised to. And in a lot of the cases, until there's something that a need in your life, you probably don't. You block them out. Or it could be that you really want something and you see it. You could be really hungry and you see an ad for a chocolate bar and you walk straight into a dairy and buy one. So yeah, it does surround us. It is part of society, whether you like it or not.
Oh, okay. So what is an average day for you and your team?
There's no average days. They're all quite different. But most of the time it's talking to our clients about the issues their businesses face, understanding what consumers think about our clients, their products and their services, and then coming up with solutions for them. And that could be, that involves a lot of research, a lot of discussion, a lot of brainstorming, lots of presentations, lots of debate. So there's no sort of routine, if you like. It really is about understanding problems and solutions.
So you don't spend a lot of the time in your office then, or are you out and about?
I'd say half of it's out and about, talking to clients and talking to consumers.
Okay.
And that's the same for most people here. There are some people here who are very spend a lot of time on project management, and they tend to be here a lot, working projects through, doing project timelines and project costings, and negotiating with the media companies on buying space and time. But the senior people tend to be out and about a lot.
That sounds really cool. What sort of personality does someone need to survive in advertising?
I think they need to be very open and a really good listener, and they also need to have a lot of enthusiasm and energy, because we're very positive people. We always look for the glass half full kind of people. We look for the upside and everything, and we are about changing minds and changing behaviours, and you can't do that by necessarily being negative. In most cases we use humour and warmth and charm to do that, rather than negative messages. But in some cases, negative messages can work, like we see for road safety. But in most cases, the sort of personality you need is, you need to be open, enthusiastic, energetic, and have a very good way of engaging with people. You need to be able to listen to them, and you need to be able to draw things out of people. Okay,
so that makes sense.
I speak very quickly, so just as well you're recording it.
Yeah, it has. What made you decide to go into advertising?
I thought it was really interesting, and that every day would be different.
Yeah.
And you get to work on all sorts of products and services, on all sorts of different brands. And I love new things as well, so quite often we're working with lots of new things that our clients are doing. And I couldn't imagine ever only working on one product, for a company, just focusing on that. Or only ever working for one business and only working in their environment. Whereas here I get to work with 15 different clients, so I have to learn everything about hamburgers to banking, to rental cars, to fuel, to telephones. So you get to work in all those sorts of different environments. It's really interesting.
So you like variety.
Lots of variety.
Yeah. So what do you love about your job then?
I think it's that
you see different people.
I get to get experience across all those different products and services and different companies and see how they operate.
Okay, so no day's really ever the same.
No, that's true.
Great, well, thank you. I think I've got all I need.
Wonderful, I hope that helps.
Well, thank you for your time, it really does.
No problem, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.